Time for a new character.
Razgor has ascended.
In a manner of speaking.
There's Eddie.
Here's Letty.
Hello.
Hello.
Making tea.
You done making tea, or are you still making tea, waiting for tea, or what?
No, I was done making tea.
Ah, I suppose that's an adequate excuse.
So,
So,
last thing I remember, I had broken down my bars, and
correct.
the mechanical people had sworn loyalty to me.
Incorrect. That
Unlikely.
last part. Former part correct. Yes, you had just hacked your way out of the unusually organic interlocking gears that they used for bars for your prison cell that you had been teleported into by the beams of these pentadrones that have seemed to have been infected with some cancerous growth where they had been starving out these villagers in the hope of obtaining the stone that Cleef had traded for. And Cleef has a strong suspicion that they're in his bag of holding. They all fled away as soon as the stone was put yonder. Your bugbear compatriot is going to be doing some undersewer renovation or something this session. I don't know.
He's still digging that hole, unaware of what's
Still
happening.
digging his hole. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. The last thing you guys saw was Razgor getting crop dusted and then beamed away.
Did any of us see that? Because we were all round there.
Shrimp swords, I believe.
Correct.
Ah, okay.
Bereaved. So, I guess we will start with random. It's gonna be hard with no table.
Oh, I can make that.
Make me a drawing board, Hippo. Make me a
You are the
sketchboard.
drawing board.
Depends entirely on a couple of rolls, so it's I don't foresee us needing it for very long. We can see if
Wow,
random.
you know, that's not ominous at all. Just for a couple of rolls, you know?
I have
man.
a plan.
Do you have a plan?
Are you familiar with the television show Dragon Ball Z?
I'm not really familiar with it, no.
Are we talking Spirit Bomb, Kamehameha?
So, Razgor,
Just
there's a
three?
line of cells
Just sheet
Here.
disc.
and a line of cells opposite you, in which there are people. You find yourself in this cell, where did I put this dice down for you for drink? And across from you, yeah, you can see women, you can see children, all in various states of dehydration, filth, and terror. Most of them crying quietly, and now some of them screaming and starting to point as this gigantic, plated, humanoid form being yourself starts hacking your way through the bars of the prison that you're in. So, we'll start with you. Initiative order. These guys have got awful initiative. I'm not going to bother. So, top of the initiative order is going to be Razgor. Razgor, what are you doing? You've not seen any enemies yet. You've just been deposited in the cell and you were busy hacking your way out.
I'm using my intelligent axe to. Oh wait, I'm already out of the cell.
Yeah, you've already hacked the bars open last week.
I suppose I'll go.
Okay, so you step out into the corridor, and you see all around you this coppery brownish substance that is both stone-like and metallic in nature, but at the same time, the way it is attached to each other, you don't see welding seams, you don't see bolts, you don't see screws, you don't see mortar. It's almost organically meshed together. And as you look further down this corridor, it makes a sharp turn at the far corner from you. And from beyond it, you see a pale, pinkish-purple light periodically flash and pulsate from beyond, lighting up the corridor that you're standing in with lunatic shadows. So, what do you do?
So these people all dehydrated and they're not gonna be worth shit in a fight.
Pretty much. They are just random peasants that have been captured, tormented, and just generally had a terrible, terrible time.
Alright, I don't need them then. I'll move on
Sounds
down the
good.
hall, just looking for something to try to figure it out. I want to
Okay,
ask
so-
Azure Edge if she recognizes any of this craziness.
She indicates in the negative, like, no, she has not seen any of this. But as you come around the corner, you stumble straight into a tiny little monodrone that is coming towards the cells. These drones, again, you've seen them before, you fought them before, you know what they look like. Again, the flesh has become cancerous and tumorous, and in places it's almost like undersea barnacles have started creeping up out of the joints, and it moves with a stiffened gait. None of the mechanical fluidity that they moved with before. As it sees you, and it stops. And you can see it basically get ready to alert the creatures around it. I would like you to make a dexterity check for me, please, to see if you can react faster than it can.
Do I have Hippo's advantage stuff?
Yes. I recall Hippo did bless all of you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And you have bless as well. Because I bless too. So you have advantage and bless.
That's 15. Just straight dex modifier?
Straight dex modifier.
That's 15.
Purely a reaction.
16.
16. Okay, let's see how much does this boy roll. Doubt it's that high. Oof. 17. Okay. So, you stumble into each other and you're kind of just like, oh, what the hell? And as you bump it backwards, it opens its mouth wide and starts screaming this keening note over and over and over again. Immediately, you hear the sounds beyond the corridor change and shift, and you can hear the thudding drag of more footsteps approaching you. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna throw my axe into his face.
Okay, attack roll.
Well, plus 23.
That's a hit. Many hits.
That's 13 damage.
13 points damage. Okay. Yeah, you easily cleave this thing into rice paper without much problem, as it does not have a whole lot of footprint.
So
You
step
make
up
your
and
way
pull,
down the corridor.
pull my axe out of his head and prepare if I see another one to throw
Ask
it
him a
again.
question.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you step down, and you can see here's where the corridor starts splitting quite a bit. To your immediate right, you see a room filled with a very unusual looking chamber. The first thing that comes to mind is a birthing chamber. That's the first word that springs to mind. There is a low pool of brackish liquid with pale purple greenish slime covering the edges of the pool. And you can see in places from the pool itself, it looks like wet drag marks that have dried, leaving behind a crust that have come out of this pool, coming towards the middle corridor where you are currently standing. Further ahead, you see the source of the light down this corridor. You see it opens up to an exterior where you can see there is a crackling portal that appears to be swirling, destabilized, and trying to spring back into life. And from outside, you see many little monodrones, all patiently waiting the activation of this portal. And you can see a few of them now turning towards you after having heard the alarming cry from their compatriots.
And they're coming through this portal.
They look like they were waiting to go through the portal. And the cry from this one that saw you has alerted them, and now they are making ready to come down the corridor to investigate the warning cry.
Just glancing through here, I want to use my divine sense and
Alright.
see if I'm getting any celestial or what is it? Celestial or
Demonic? Infernal?
yeah, something like that. Actually,
Fiend.
take good and evil.
Celestial, fiend, or undead?
Yeah, there it is.
Hmm. No. But you sense something other from the pool. It's none of those things, but it has got a kinship to both the celestial and the fiend.
Well, I don't want to be here, and this looks like a door, so I'm just going to charge these folks.
Works. The Razgor way of stealth.
Do I?
Okay, so
Get
you are just running
flank
straight
stabbed
down
here?
the corridor. Not quite. Okay, so you're running straight down this corridor at these little guys, all getting ready to go through this portal, right? And you are just charging straight. What is your plan exactly? You're just gonna dive in the portal, or
Well,
start
yeah.
hacking, or
I'm gonna hack my way through them into the portal because I don't know where this is, but it's not where I want to be. So
that is very Razgor thinking. Okay, sure. So you charge into contact with these guys quite easily. So you're still going to be top of the initiative order. These little guys are going to be going after you. So first attack against the first little guy. How much?
get my 4.
Oh, we should probably move Matt here, hey? Mr. Wilfred's not.
26.
26 easily hits.
11 damage.
11 is just enough. Okay, so first one, Shonk goes down. Kick him out of the way, leaving his two friends open in front of you to get their shit wrecketh.
24.
Hits.
To carve the next one up. Oh, that's 9.
Not quite enough to kill him, unfortunately. 'Cause he is still standing.
I'll pop a smite on him.
Alright.
Just a baby smite.
Just a baby smite.
That's an extra 6 damage.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's more than enough. You like slam the weapon home into him, and you see he's still standing, and then you just channel the energy into it, and you hear it detonate inside of his chest cavity with a dull thump as the energy just charges inside of the poor drone, killing it almost instantly. Leaving just one more looking at you kind of dully. Your turn completed?
Yes.
Okay, so little guy is going to attempt something. He's going to attempt to bite you, which is a natural 20.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. Okay. He lunges forward, and you're so tall, he barely like comes up to your chest, and he lunges forward, and he actually bites through the armoring on your legs and manages to get around the rear of one of the plates to the back of the leg. And he bites into your calf, and you take 7 points of damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Now, you know what the sad part is? If this had been a dinosaur, it would have still been dramatic and cool, but you're about to get bitten to death by something that's like, you know, like maybe a 10th your size.
A sentient clock.
That's 31.
Jesus.
Oh, actually, that's
Okay.
20.
Oh, wow. Nice. Razgor, you see this little thing bite into you, and the armor around where you just got bit actually starts rusting. As if it's getting... The age of the armor itself is accelerated, and it is just progressing through decades of its lifespan in mere moments. And you feel a warmth spread up your leg from where he's bit you, and for a moment you think, oh god, this is bad. But it seems that your orcish physiology is robust enough to fight off whatever it is that it just tried to do to you. Which makes it once more your turn.
I was tired of my armor being so shiny anyway. I'm just getting mortified.
Orcified.
I'm going to grab this little bastard and throw him through the portal.
Sure. That would be what, a shove, I guess? Attack roll and then a shove? Or what would that be?
Just
Ranged
would it be,
attack, maybe? He said he wanted to throw him.
Athletics.
Improvised
to,
weapon.
Would I need to grapple him and then shove him, or could I just shove him
I think
with
you
the
can make a
athletics?
shove attack whenever, like on any of your attacks. If I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Shove, 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 shove. Where's shove? Shove as a grapple, but if you succeed, yeah. So you make a normal grapple, and then if you succeed, you can then choose to knock a target prone or push it away from.
Do I get bless on?
No.
Okay.
Or do you? God damn.
I rolled a 17 without bless.
Oh yeah, it's more than enough. It's an attack roll saving throw, yeah. Not damage.
That should be opposed athletics, I believe.
Okay, let me see if this little bad boy can oppose anything.
That's 40.
Natural
It's
40.
me.
15. How much did
Okay,
you roll?
so 17.
17. Okay, yeah, so you successfully grapple him. And you now have him in your arms, struggling, still trying to bite you again. And then what? You just throw his ass into the portal.
Yeah, I'm kind of throwing him towards another one I can see, but I'm also just seeing if he disintegrates when he goes through, or if I can walk through this.
Okay, you hear a crack, and he blinks out of existence. Those of you in town, I suppose Shrimp, you're really the closest one to the portal entranceway. You hear a crack of displaced air, and then you see a very diseased and confused looking Modron appear in the same crater that you saw earlier.
So
I think you may be muted, Liddy. Because I can see your thing going green, but not hear any of your speech.
Oh no, he's dead.
Liddy diddy. Okay, Rasgor, so yeah, you saw this thing just out of existence.
well, Razor's confused.
Rasgor is always it's a perpetual state for Rasgor. What do you do, Rasgor?
Well, I don't know if he disintegrated or if he teleported. I'm going to look at the portal and that's screw it. I'm going to dive in. I'm not gonna
Okay,
be
so
stuck here.
alright, so you dive into the portal quite happily. I would like you to make a D100 roll for me. Liddy, are you restarting your thing, or? We still can't hear you if you're saying anything. How much
That's
do you roll that for?
41.
41!
Dead.
That is very
Lady
much.
says he's trying to figure it out.
Probably his voice modulator causing issues. Okay. 41, 41, 41, 41, 41. Where is my big old chart?
Oh no. I believe 41 is become God.
I mean...
Turn into a Gridley.
Speak.
Not
boop.
again.
Test.
Oh,
Beep
hello.
boop test.
Hello. Yeah, no, it's just like I had unplugged my computer to clean it like a couple of days ago, but I hadn't tested out the thing, and I had some audio issues where it like reset my audio selection, and I never checked this program I use to. It basically unselected my microphone, and Discord then picks up the sound from this program itself rather than from my microphone.
Oh,
That's not good. Rasgor, do you have necrotic resistance?
I mean, I'm immune to disease. That's kind of.
Kinda similar? Okay, not too bad. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm sure you'll be fine. You take 24 points of necrotic damage.
ouch.
But you do successfully translate and land on top of this poor mono drone. Shrimp, you see Rasgor materialize above this poor mono drone and pretty much just like land on top of the poor thing, half crushing it.
Ik leave. Raz is back.
The mono drone's gonna try and kill you, Rasgor. Unless you still want to do anything else with your turn.
No.
So, Manadron's going to try and bite you again. Natural 1. Unfortunately, having just had somebody land on him, he is very confuddled and does not manage to bite you.
You
In
know,
fact, he bites himself.
Something like that. Razgor, your turn.
I just want to crush him.
You crash him. Okay, you crash him. Which puts us out of combat for now, but still in initiative. Which puts us at Cleef.
Ooh. So there's a little thing in the middle of the. Well, I can't even see it.
Crater. But yes, there's a little crushed motor drone in the middle of the crater currently.
He does have a 400-pound Rasgorian plate mill land on him. So
He's not feeling too good.
I'm just gonna skip my turn for the combat
Okay.
to continue to ponder the possibility of a Modron explosion coming out of my bag.
Brienne, your turn.
I'm gonna move over to where Raz is
Mm-hmm.
and just yell out to Cleef to maybe just get around here as well. And sort of pick Razgor up and okay, so where exactly did you go? What was that? While I've also got my crossbow out and just ready in case anything else tries to teleport through.
some jail, shitty jail, broke out easy.
Anybody else in there with you?
Oh, just some dying peasants.
Ah,
They wouldn't be a boon to battle, or this town anymore. I don't think.
So, Brienne, is there anything you're doing?
okay, after the conversation, I'm just gonna ready myself in case anything else comes through the portal or out of Cleef's bag of holding.
Cleef,
But
your bag starts to vibrate in your hand.
Is there a portal above me, or just I poofed into the middle of air and fell?
You just kind of like poofed in a flash of pinkish energy.
Can I take the stick out of the bag to divert them for a few more seconds?
Sure. So you like whoop, pull the bag out again. Pull the stick out of the bag again. It's like what's it, an action or bonus action for the bag of holding to reach inside?
I don't know.
Action, probably? I
Check your
mean,
bag.
Bag of holding.
I think taking an object out of your backpack, for instance, is an action, so... I mean...
Requires an action.
Kind of an...
Okay, so that's your action. Bonus action. Anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Okay. Razgor, your turn. You guys are all standing here. Cleef is now waving his stick around. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna stand up and just get in like a batting stance for if any more these robot things fall out of the sky, and I need to slice them as they fall.
Okay. Shrimp, your turn. Big brain ass. What are you gonna do, Shrimp?
Squig is making his way.
I'm trying to big brain. I don't know what to do. So, I'll just talk. So, what was our plan again? What are we doing here?
My bag was like wiggling. They're trying to break into my bag and steal the crystals.
Yeah. No, what's our long-term plan with that? Like, we just gonna pull it out and wait until they appear and then blast them?
If you could booby trap where the portal is, that'd be great.
I mean, I don't really have booby traps, but I could prepare a spell and try and blow them up, but that's about it.
You should do that.
I shall do that.
They're gonna be teleporting in like a second. Rascal, you probably want to move.
Alright, so we're gonna ambush them, so I'll prepare a spell. And ambush them if they come out of, this area.
So you're just
So
gonna
we're
blame
ready.
him.
I'm just gonna blast him. I'll grab synaptic static.
Is that an AoE or is it single target?
It's an AOE.
AoE, you said.
20-foot radius. Is that radius? I think it's
It's
radius.
Okay.
Oh yes, 20-foot radius, which yes is fun. Which means very big area actually. I keep forgetting that these spells say radius, which means that they're actually twice as big.
Hmm. So, Cleve, are you ready? Or are you going to lift your bag?
If they're talking about bringing those, you're bringing those 5 armed guys back.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're not gonna stop following us. I've got nowhere to hide the stick. The best we can do is to get them to come here. I not be there. They come towards me. You try and kill as many as you can. I put the stick back in the bag to distract them again. Repeat until they stop coming.
All right. Hearing this plan, Razor's gonna heal himself.
Okay. So it's an action to heal, right? Lay on hands.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing with your movement?
Where are they coming back to?
Last time I took the thing out the bag, they came straight out of where you popped into existence.
Also, the red circle I just drew is the blast radius.
Oh, Razor moves to the red circle on the ground and steps out of it.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna
Brienne.
go ahead and get on Squig.
Brienne's gonna move out of the red circle as well.
Okay.
And oh, I'm probably gonna regret this. I yell to Cleef to throw the stick towards me, and I yell out to everybody, get behind a building or take cover somehow. I'm going to try and destroy this crystal.
Okay. Okay. I just fly.
Just
I'm
get
still
as
flying.
far away as you can if I do this.
Cleef is thinking, hey, I could just destroy it with a mouse laser, but then thinking, Cleef doesn't want to die, and hurls the stick.
So you pull the stick out and you throw it at Brienne.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your movement.
If you
and
need
act-
to,
or
just
your
throw it
action,
back
yeah.
again. And from then
Okay.
on, I will hold the bag of holding open like a goal.
Brienne, your turn. What are you doing?
Okay, I have now got the stick. What is everybody's? Is everybody sort of moving out the way or
Oh
taking?
yeah, you
cover?
can see everybody's
I would
like
like to
getting
move
the
around this
hell
corner.
away.
Okay,
Okay.
so
I'll still be
everybody.
in line of
Yeah,
sight. I'll still be in line of sight because I want to keep my eye on the spawn.
Yeah, I assume you're flying. Okay.
Yeah, I'm also flying though, which is.
Oh, I still have fly on me, don't I?
Okay, to just a dumb question from my side. To mash my stone into the stone on that stick, would that be an action or a bonus action?
An action mistake.
Doesn't matter, because will he be alive at the end of it?
That is a very, very good question.
Okay, it's fine.
Well, this is not what I expected to happen at all. Alrighty, so
Yeah, I like that. Not what I expected to happen at all. Hint, hint.
no, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm just saying. So, as an
Yeah.
action, Brienne goes smoosh,
Hang
and for
on. Before I go smoosh.
Hmm.
Da, 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 da.
Where is it?
Sorry, just give me 1 second.
Griffey, did traveling through all the different. I think Letty casted fly on me and him
Yes,
last game.
correct.
Do I
Yes.
still have that, or did transforming through dimensions strip that away? I'll just try to float a little bit.
Sure. Let's just say it still maintains. I suppose technically the effect lasts as long as you're in the same plane, and now that you're back, it would reignite or reestablish itself, I guess.
Yeah, it
I don't know.
doesn't really say.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm just going to smoosh. The thing I wanted to do was an action and not
Okay.
a bonus action.
This is going to be a thing.
This is going to hurt a lot.
Oh yeah. So Brienne, that's where you are. So 1, 2, 3.
It should just be me.
$20 says Razgor, the Warg. It's you. Yeah, it's you, Squig, and Razgor in the blast radius. Okay. Well, I wanted to say something mean there.
This was a peaceful town.
This was
This
a
was
peaceful town.
I was actually
Was a
behind
town.
this building.
For a brief moment, the village still stands before a light bright enough for you to see through your eyelids washes over you guys, completely silent. No blast, no noise, nothing. Just a incredibly bright white light. I draw a circle on this. Everything from Brienne.
yeah.
Where's my measuring stick? So, this building. Okay, so it's pretty much this, whoops, this, and this building are all just carved away. As if reality is just like on, yeah, they were never there. There's nothing.
Oh.
There's no wood, there's no splintering, there's no earth. There is just a spherical hole in the ground and in just buildings, like literally sheared away, like a diorama where you can just see now into the interior of the structure where this light has just erased everything.
I feel sorry for the people in there.
Yeah, those people are boned. Razgor and Squig, I need you both to make charisma saving throws for me, please. Brian, we will get to you in a moment.
Let's start with Squig.
Just remember, you got your bless, eh?
Does Razgor get cover from Squig?
Squig rolled a natural 1.
Okay, bless isn't gonna help for that. Sorry.
I rolled a 14 plus 12, 26.
That is very good. I'm very happy that you rolled that high. Because I'm less likely to kill you. So you are only going to take... Ooh, that's a lot of 10s. Oh, that's... You take 47 points
Oh god.
of force damage.
Oof.
Sorry, Raz.
And your armor and your skin is actually burnt red, like you just got hit by a massive suntan. And your armor is scoured clean. Dirt, rust, any specks of matter that have accumulated on your person have just been washed away by this burning energy that was unleashed by the destruction of this artifact. Brian!
Do you know how hard
Rocks
it was to get
fall,
all
I
that
die.
blood on there?
The first thing, Brian, that you can see
Oh my.
as they start coming out of the portal above you. The second thing you feel is that you feel cold. Very, very cold. And then you realize it's because half of Brienne is over here. The other half of Brienne is currently over there. And the reason you feel cold is because there is nothing beneath your stomach.
Oh my.
And you are currently unconscious. Make a death saving throw for me, please.
Oh my. That didn't go well.
Remember, you can bless a death saving throw.
They did.
If
I
it helps.
did.
Okay. Okay.
It's just
Brienne, you are
straight up
down.
D20 plus, well, in this case,
D20
plus my
plus
D4.
place. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Just straight D20
And I get a +1, which didn't help.
in this case.
Yeah. DC's 10, hey?
DC 10. Painted drones come spilling into this world through the portal now that the gem they have been pursuing was here and now it's gone, and they look around in confusion, unable to understand what is going on. Which puts us at Rasgor. Your turn.
Are they on the ground or are they?
They're just all like hovering a few feet off the ground currently, looking around in a confused fashion at this crater that has been formed.
Well, did they actually do any damage to me when they attacked, or they just did crazy?
When they attacked you, they
Effects.
just used beams and gases. Yes, they were not hitting you with any damage as far as you could tell the previous time.
30, 45, 50. And I can see, like, Brienne's head here.
Yeah, like her.
Yeah, the upper portion of Brienne.
I'm going to like take off flying, just like hovering with my face towards the just barely inches off the ground, and kind of bulldoze her over here.
Where you
never mind.
realize that there's only half of Brienne.
And there's also no structure there, just bear in mind.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
Yeah, well, with that, would you have still done that then?
Well, I was coming to get you. I'll just. Is it an action to grab her, or a bonus action to? What would it be to grab her and keep moving?
Let's say it's a bonus action to grab her, since you're just kind of like going around and yanking her by whatever's available.
There's only half of me there, so.
I mean, yeah, we didn't weigh enough before really for it to be an issue.
45, 55, 60. And this building is still here.
Yeah.
Where the green line stops, yeah.
So I double moved with what I thought was a Brienne. It's a Brie, I guess.
It's a Brina.
Yeah.
To right
The
here.
Yan bit is somewhere there.
That's a dash and bonus action, so
Okay.
that's all I got.
After Asgore, we got Shrimpy Boy.
Yes, Shrimpy Boy. I cast my prepared spell, the Synaptic Static.
So what do they need to do?
They must roll an Intelligence 17, comrade.
13 intelligence checks, you say. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 17, you say, eh?
17.
3, 6, 5, 9, 13, 11, 1, 10, 8, 6, 4, 4. All of them fail.
All of them fail. Amazing.
Yep, every single
Wait.
one.
They take 39 damage. each.
Jesus.
And after a failed save, a target has muddled thoughts for 1 minute. During that time, it rolls the d6 and subtract the number rolled from all of its attack rolls and ability checks.
It doesn't matter.
Saving throws to maintain concentration. Sorry?
It doesn't matter. Because you guys see Shrimp palm outwards and just like close his fist, and there is a snap pop of psychic energy, and all these things just literally just see their heads explode, and they die. You roll high enough damage to kill all of them. They only have 37 hit points.
That makes me over.
None of us see it though, because we're all. Oh no, there are no
Oh
buildings. here.
shit! There are no buildings there, yeah.
Okay, we can't see.
There's no buildings there.
Although
You
I-
can't see it. You guys just see Shrimp just like close his fist, and just like all of them just detonate like a row of corn kernels stuck in a pot. And there are 17 dead jellyfish, 13 dead jellyfish just like flop to the ground, and you just see organic innards everywhere, brains leaking out of what passes for ear holes. They did.
They did.
They super did. Leaving you guys with half a Brian and another half of.
Yeah, there's two halves.
So, Brian, I would like you to make a death saving throw, please, unless somebody is going to be applying any healing
I
here.
run over and attempt to just throw a potion at the.
I make it. I make it.
gaping
15.
wound.
Okay. It does cease the bleeding, far as you can tell. She doesn't appear to be getting any worse, but she still has no leg.
Yeah, I made my saving throw.
So what do you guys do? Brian, you're unconscious at this point.
Yeah. My unconscious voice whispers on the wind, somebody fetch my legs.
Lieutenant
Does anybody
Dan,
see the other half of a Brienne?
you ain't got no legs.
Lower half. Lower half.
If so, we never could tell the difference.
Wow, thanks, Griff.
Hey, it's not my fault.
No, just the descriptions. Thank you. It actually makes it so much easier to identify which bit of me is currently, where.
I'll go scoop up the legs and put them in the bag.
You guys are just like,
Don't put them in the bag. Bring them to me.
Then I have to touch them. I just like turn the bag inside out and pick it up like picking up dog poo.
Jesus Christ. Wow, some real camaraderie there.
Yeah.
If I see both halves of Brienne, I'll don't know if this is gonna work. I just throw her on the ground, like kind of.
Ow! Failed death save.
Wow.
Put her.
Wow.
Like try to put the pieces together. I'm gonna blow 20 points of healing
Raz,
into her.
it's not a jigsaw. It's a disemboweled human.
Actually, I don't even know if I would pay attention to if they're both facing the right way.
Oh god, no! No!
D100!
Shrimp! Shrimp!
What do you want me to do? I don't know
Help!
medicine.
Yes, but you can at least see if my bits are pointing the right way!
Sure, I'll hover
I'm still.
over and
Can we
if
even see?
things are wrong.
Are we not all half blind from the light?
Oh, you're still blinking away spots, but you can see. Okay, so shouldn't view Jigsaw for Brienne so that both their bits are showing in the right direction.
Thank you.
Yes, I do.
And then you say, Razgor, you say you're pumping 20 points of
Lay on hands Healy juice,
juice
Try
into
and stitch her
Brienne.
together.
and I'll pump a lesser restoration as well.
For good measure,
Just in case.
just a hope and a prayer. Let's see what happened.
I'm gonna take some rope too and kind of like satchel her together.
Brienne, roll a d20 for me.
Do I get my blade?
No, just roll a d20.
$13.
Okay, that's higher than I rolled. So,
God.
under Brazgor's tender ministrations, Brienne is put back together again in something resembling a human form, and you all get to see what Brienne's spine looks like. It is painful, it is intimate in the most horrific way possible, but Brazgor manages to put most of her outards back into her innards. And
So-
Brienne, you come back to life with a single hit point. In more pain than you have been in your entire existence.
Damn, I should have checked her inventory before I brought her back to life. I could.
Your armor is
Yeah.
ruined. You will have to find a blacksmith or a armor of great skill to put it back
Okay.
together again. Was your packed weapon, was your crossbow, did you have it out, or was it put away when I did?
When I did the stone jammy thing, I'd stowed it.
Okay, so that should be fine then. Yeah, your armor is basically ruined, and clothing, everything has just been scoured by this detonation. But you are alive, and your stone and the other stone are both gone.
Ooh.
So, you look around you. Hippo, the structure where the people were hiding that you had traded your dagger for, is gone.
If I go in there, are there like shadow imprints of the people on the walls?
There are in one or two places a shadow imprint, but the rest of it is just as if they were never here. The village is quiet. Hear the low drone of insects. There are enemies. There are no townsfolk, as far as you can tell. It is a deserted village.
So that could have gone better.
I don't know. I mean, it could have gone better. On the other hand, I just saw somebody put like a person in two pieces back together.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, it was nearly like it went wrong way around for a second, but you know, I told him not to do that because I'm fairly certain it's supposed to be like that.
I wonder if that would have made.
I mean, the nerve damage may be horrific, and it may be forever for the rest of your life. You may be in incredible pain, but hey, you're in one piece.
Yeah, I really didn't think that was gonna work.
I'm honestly surprised that it worked. I've never seen the person be in two pieces and now they're in one.
I feel like I'm gonna have to put Brienne through like a series of physiotherapy sessions.
Probably for the safest.
So
And probably get her a therapist as well, because we are not helping.
Therapy might be an idea, yeah.
I reach into my. Seeing that like the armor is completely fucking gone, I'm just gonna fish out my my old and unused studded leather. Let's drape that over her.
Here, wipe yourself.
Staple it to her.
I am quite grateful to Cleef for the armor.
On the back is Cleef's best back flipper for life.
Of course. Of course.
Brienne is now just a walking advert for Cleef.
So, gentlemen,
Cleef's All Stars, enlist now. Cool, 0800 backflip. So we should probably be leaving. I think this village is kind of a lost cause. There's not a lot left.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I mean, this will probably be known as the ghost town of whatever the hell this place is called.
And I just have to hope that all of
Here.
those villagers who got zapped, I hope that they all died peacefully and quickly, and aren't lingering somewhere in pain.
Oh, yeah. I try and make a telepathic connection with Squig. He's
Nothing.
just dead, right?
There's nothing.
All Squig does is die.
Where's Squeak?
Poor Squig.
Wow.
Well, the first time I got boomed, I went to a jail. But that second boom didn't feel like the first boom. I don't think they're coming back.
So, what do you mean coming back? What? They weren't dead?
First boom, I didn't die.
Okay, but the villagers.
Yeah, they're probably dead.
I feel like you're not telling me everything here.
So, when all those floaty things attacked me first, they shot me with something and I boomed into a jail cell somewhere else, not here. But the Brienne boom felt very different. That actually hurt.
Okay, but more about this jail.
It was a
Was
jail.
there anyone else in there?
There was a couple dying people. They were done for.
How many's a couple, Raz?
He like looks at his fingers. Like 4, 5, maybe. I don't know. They were useless.
But they were
Well,
people, and presumably the people who lived in this town.
quite presumably, yes.
And
Well, you can go ask one of those squig carcasses to send you to the jail that they sent me.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. I don't know how to get there, so unless you got some kind of smart plan to get us there, I don't think we can help you anymore. I think we've done enough for today here. I don't know about you, but maybe we shouldn't be here so people don't blame this whole shebang on us. Just as a thing.
Cleef's gonna say a quick prayer in Draconic and apologise to the spirits for Razgor,
Notice how it's in Draconic.
and then do an angry backflip. Start leaving the town. Is there any
I take
loot
it you guys-
around the place that looks shiny before we leave? I'm so angry.
You're so angry. There's
If only there were trinkets.
only there were trinkets. There are a few trinkets scattered about if you want to go through the town's buildings, looking through the dead positions.
Somebody should go and find
Mr. Wilfred.
I was gonna say Jeff, but that's not his name.
Who wants to loot the destroyed town?
Don't use loot.
It's the second
Salvage.
Yes, salvage and reallocate the resources.
Looting makes it sound bad.
We wish to proceed with resource reallocation.
Okay, so those of you who wish to loot the town, roll your what you call them for me?
Undies.
Perception checks.
Oh. Oof.
Can I just fly around the town and see if I can see any people that might be bordering the town,
Sure.
I am still half blind. I rolled a 11.
Okay.
My eyes are made of
15.
steel.
15. Okay, your combined efforts find 2 silver pieces and about 57 boxings intact, as well as an assortment of silverware passed down through the ages in one of the more richer-looking homes.
While we're doing the searching everything, I let Shrimp know, or I tell Shrimp that something that what happened here, that both my stone and this stone have both vanished. They are gone,
Unfortunate.
and I have no idea what to make of that.
Vanished or annihilated?
They're
Shouldn't.
gone. That's all I know.
Shouldn't you
Where-
make your way? Sorry, shouldn't you make your way for your search through the town, and you do find a survivor. A small girl that is sitting there with her legs tucked under her chin, back to a wall, sobbing, and it doesn't look like she even notices you.
Okay, make a mental note of her and float looking for more people. Not much I can do for a small child.
Make another investigation check for me.
Okay. Investigation, it is +9. So that is 22.
Yeah, you section the rest of the town with your flight, but unfortunately it does not seem like you can find any other survivor.
Okay, are there any towns nearby or anything like that?
Gaze upon the map, my friend, and you will see that
Here we-
there are
okay.
towns.
Oh, which town were we in again?
You're in
Hey.
Nazir.
Azir. Well, Kalinkovici is close-ish? Multiple kilometers away, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I go back and tell the more humane people of the party that, hey, there's a small child over there. You want to do anything about that?
Can you take us to her?
Yeah, sure.
Brianna, yeah, I don't think you should move.
I still have a potion of greater healing. I'll drink it.
I'm not sure how effective that's gonna be at reconnecting nerves and stuff.
It's gonna take time, but there's a child here, and whether we like it or not, we kind of have a responsibility here. So help if you can. Any, it's gonna take me a while to get there. Limp, limp, limp,
Shrimp,
limp,
you
limp.
should just like make the kid fly and then tell her to head in a direction to the nearest town.
I don't think the kid's gonna take well to me. I don't know if you've looked at me recently,
No.
but I might look slightly robotic.
Oh
See
shit,
this
you're
kid
right.
gifted with the the gift of flight soaring through the air for 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
Your entire family may be dead, but now you can fly.
You make your way to the small child, those of you. You go to the small child.
I'll kind of
You can see her startle at the sound you guys make tromping through the dust and remnants of the house towards her. And when she looks up, you see that her eyes are just burnt sockets.
Yeah, no, not gonna lie, I didn't see that before.
Okay, I'm gonna move closer to her and I sort of call out to her, just as placatingly and non-threateningly as possible, just to try and reassure her and tell her that I'm going to put my hand on her shoulder, and I'm going to try and use lay on hands. I'm going to try and it says here I can. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try and use 5 hit points worth of lay on hands to try and see if I can restore her sight.
As you move closer, you can see her flinch away from the sound. And as you touch her, she jerks away violently from you before you manage to pin her down enough to actually cast the healing. And it seems like, unfortunately, it's not enough. Still appears to be blind.
I recognize what Brian's doing. Like, when did you learn my power?
I don't know. It just sort of happened while we were in the Dwarf Kingdom. But just one day, that was in a battle, and I've actually helped you like that. I don't know where it came from or how I've been able to do it, but
Razgor
it's certainly nowhere to the extent that you can.
Razgor kind of stares deeply into Brian's skin. Do I see any hints of green?
Make a perception check for me.
Well, I suppose blue-green is a green.
19 plus 2, 21.
You don't see any green, but you see ugly black capillaries crisscrossing beneath her skin, as if her blood has been replaced by ink. Occasionally, as you look at her veins, it almost looks like one of them jumps and moves over, wiggles around inside of her.
What color were the innards?
Oh.
Nobody was paying attention. Too late for that now.
I think
Cobalt?
were they all red?
Cobalt? purple.
Oh no.
Oh, I wouldn't have healed that.
Quick, go back. Retcon.
Yeah.
Throw her in the trash.
Red grabs Brienne's and breaks her in half over his knee.
You guys
I'll,
didn't
uh,
seem
I
worried
sort of
about
like
that.
I'd look to Razgor and say, can you try and help this child? Does
I kind of wave my hand for Brienne to step aside.
I sort of move to the side. While I'm doing that, I'm trying to keep talking to the child to try and just let her know that we're here to help, and that
Doesn't look like
my
what you're
friend is going
saying.
to try and.
It doesn't look like what you're saying is penetrating the fugue state that they're currently in.
I'm
I'm
still trying just to
to-
keep calm. Just trying to use more the tone of my voice, just to. It's less about what I'm saying and just more about just trying to create some kind of soothing atmosphere for the child.
well, he's doing that.
Just
I,
not
Punch the healing
inappropriate.
into the small child.
Yeah,
I
just not
kinda-
inappropriately, please, Raz.
I
Remember
Just-
that 15 will get you 20.
very quick, like not a hard punch, like a quick move of my hand, grab her head, like with her eyes in my palm, and I said, "Brace yourself, child." And I pop a lesser restoration on her, which says
Why?
it can end one disease or condition. Afflicting it, the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
It would work if her eyes still existed. If she had her eyes and she was blinded or blind, it would indeed do it, but in this case, you would need something like a regeneration spell to regrow the lost organs. She
Well,
is still
child,
blind.
you're not gonna see again. But remember, through strife comes strength.
So, Maintelgens. Quiet ruins of the town.
Wow, we have a cruel DM.
You have a small blind child. Everybody they know, every world that they knew, everything they ever loved. It's been taken from them by the actions of our party.
Well, you say our party is Brienne.
Well,
The wind comes up a little bit. Dust
Well,
starts to settle over
to
the
be
town.
absolutely fair, there's every possibility that her family was taken by the Modrons first. So it could still, if you want to go down that road, Razgor left behind a bunch of people in that prison dimension.
I don't know if he's supposed to feel bad about that or
Am I supposed
What?
to care?
Her family
will-
might have been amongst the people there.
I'll take a ration out and put it by her. Did I don't think I just removed all my rations. Yeah, fuck it, I'll give her 10 rations.
Here,
can't-
blind child.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can't leave her here. There's no way she'll survive. Even though there are towns nearby, we still have to make sure she gets there safely. We might have to actually consider returning to home meal before heading out. It's that or she comes with us.
If Mugbreaker is running loose, he will kill far more than one child if we head back to Homeland and don't go stop him. This child is not worth the western side of this country.
Then the child comes with.
hey, we've got to stop at Plink's first.
There's a good chance Plinks is gone.
Well,
Well, we gotta
gotta
But,
head
I
that
mean,
way anyway. If
she's
they,
under your-
if the town is still there, and we might find members of the clergy or somebody who can take her in. But we kind of do have a responsibility here, whether it was through what I did or what happened beforehand. Regardless, I may be many things, but in this instance, I have to try and do something here. This is not like a battle where life and death hangs in the balance immediately. We can do something here while we head towards a battle. Wow, I rendered everyone speechless.
Hey man, I'm just the DM.
No, Cleve
But
was
you
already
guys
just
decide
getting ready
what you
to
wanna
leave.
do. Cleve is a cold-hearted man. Holy shit.
Well, no, they said they're going to look after the kid. They're looking after the kid.
Roger goes, well, we can't have her slow us down. I sit down and I cast for 10 minutes and cast a Fine Steed again.
What are you gonna feed her to Squig?
Yeah, I mean, Squid had a hard day. He needs a good snack.
Rasgor, you cast the familiar ritual to try and bring Squig to your side. And you've cast the spell a lot of times before. You know it's almost like a little tendril questing around the realm from which you pull Squig towards you. And there's nothing. You don't feel Squig's presence.
That's new. Squig doesn't. I mean, Razor doesn't mention this to anybody, but he's perplexed.
I feel like that's the default state of Rasgor these days.
He's kind of wondering if something in that blast stripped away some of his power or something. And he's not going to make that public knowledge.
Very good point. So, you gentlemen pack up your steam-powered carts, since you have two of them, with your foundry, Dr. Wilfred, or Mr. Wilfred, and start heading towards the city of Plinsk, I take it.
Mhm.
A few days' travel, peacefully,
Oh, good long rest.
you have a good long rest.
Each
Brienne
night
takes it.
doing exercises with Brienne to teach her how to walk again and backflip.
And backflip. You make your way.
In my
Down the
studded
river.
leather, that's actually surprisingly easy.
If we've been traveling for a few days, the next day I would try to summon again.
Nothing. Same response. Questing tendril of your power, reaching across the plains, and no answer. A few more days passed. The child stays mute, eats very little of what you bring her, and remains unresponsive. A week passes. You go aboard the river ferry, make your way down to the town of Plinsk. A week passes on the river. Nothing. Finally, on the second week's end, you disembark from the ferry. You decide to camp for the evening on the riverbank before making your way to Plinsk on foot the last. Brienne. Or actually, are you guys going to take watch rotation
Sure.
for the evening?
Assuming we do that all the time anyway.
Yeah, me and Shrimp do it. We don't need sleep.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
so,
you're- Okay, you're right.
so only the two of you taking watch rotation?
Yeah, because we stayed like aware while we were asleep, so basically acting guardian anyway.
I would stay up two just because for one watch rotation just because two sets of eyes are better than one.
Okay. Brienne, are you going to be resting up after your ordeal? I think you're muted, Brienne.
I'll be taking a watch. I might only be half the person I was at one point, but
Sure.
I will still take a watch.
Okay, so who's going on first watch?
I'll technically be on all of the watches as well because I don't need to sleep.
I'm talking more in regards to the non-permanently somatic people in the party.
I can take first watch.
Okay. So,
And where I take watch, I'm somewhere where I can see Brienne.
all right.
'Cause now that I think about it, she's gaining powers of mine, and I'm losing powers of mine. So that's
Yeah,
something to think about.
that is something to think about now, isn't it? First watch passes uneventfully, right? Score. Make your way to your blankets to go turn in for the evening, missing the warm bulk of Squig. You roll up. Brian, you're awakened. Take your first watch. Stir the embers of the fire a bit for some warmth. And you almost start to nod off the aches and pains in your body, still complaining with every movement, every breath. Not quite back to your original tip-top form yet. And in that half asleep, half awake, drowsy state, you hear a voice.
Okay.
A voice that you've heard before, never conscious. It's always been with you, always observes, spurs you on. And you hear it say, that small creature distracts you from your purpose. Be rid of it.
Okay, I'm sort of in this sort of like, I'm guessing, semi-sleep, semi-awake state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, assuming that this voice, I hear it, so it's going to be sort of like a conversational kind of thing, or is it just something where I hear the voice and I've never, it's just like a small voice in my head, or is it something that is actually like a personality, or
Make a perception check for me.
Be right back.
perception of 13?
You're jerked back to almost wakefulness by this sudden voice speaking almost in your ear. And you glance around the darkness and you see a writhing mass of dark tendrils a few feet away from you. Not menacing you, but clearly the origin of this voice. Cleave
Okay.
and Shrimp, make perception checks for me as well,
Okay.
since you're both awake at this time.
Natural 20.
Jesus.
24.
You guys see Brienne sit down, stir the embers of the fire, and look like she's going to nod off. Understandable. Two of you are keeping watch, so it doesn't really matter that much. Before you suddenly see her startle a little bit, and then against the deeper fabric of the night, see this morass of tentacles emerge from the ground. Intangible, indistinct. What do you say, Brienne? What do you do?
Okay, so a couple of questions first. I'm assuming when I see these tentacles, is it something that is familiar to me? Do I recognize them as being some sort of aspect of my god, or is this just something that is this appearance? Is this something that's new or off? Um, doesn't fit, or yeah?
It feels familiar, like they've been with you your whole life.
Am I
Watching
getting a
over you.
Cthulhu-ish vibe from them, or not so much?
Oh,
Given
you're
that,
getting a rather Cthulhu vibe, yes.
okay. Well, still, then there is that edge of familiarity. I'm going to look at the tentacles and go, no, this child is not something to give up. This is not what my God wants. My God does not abandon those in need. And this child is most definitely in need. You are not of my God.
What are the rest of you guys that are watching
Do we-
this happen? What are you doing?
Did we hear Brienne say that?
You hear Brienne say that. You don't hear in response to what, but you hear
Would
that's what
When
she
we
said.
saw like the kind of blackish mass, though, or do we see
Yeah.
nothing?
No, you see the blackish mass, and you hear Brienne's response, but you don't hear the voice that she's responding to.
Shrimp,
I'm
I think Brienne's
alert.
having a crisis.
I said I told you I don't care if you bring the child with us. Quit harping over it.
Brienne,
Yeah.
make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, ball. Uh, 20. 21, sorry.
21. Almost.
Is this a spell or
It is not a spell. It's more to see if you react in time. As you see the tendril suddenly straighten and strike out like a snake, batting you aside almost gently. And then you suddenly see a inky cloud of darkness descend upon your location and the child's location. And the sudden buzzsaw, high-pitched whine followed by a scream that is suddenly cut short. And when the darkness clears, you are left on the ground, unwounded, untouched. And where the child was is essentially hamburger meat.
are the tentacles still there?
Gone.
How much of this does everyone else see?
You and Shrimp see everything, since you two don't sleep.
So we just saw black masses appear. Well, we assume talk to Brienne. We didn't actually hear anything, and then all of a sudden, Hamburg gets a child.
Pretty much.
Well,
Okay.
you heard her response.
Well then, I'm definitely on alert. One would even say full alert.
Shrimp, Brienne just murdered a kid. I think we should leave.
What's Brienne doing now?
I don't think it was her.
I don't know.
Something else.
Maybe we should just, I don't know, explode her or something.
I don't think it was her. I think it's something else. It's got a demon thing.
Well, maybe you should go and ask. I'm gonna, go for a walk.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, seriously,
Please
this
gone.
They could leave.
Okay.
Leave.
While
God damn
they
it, they're
are
crying.
while they are heading on watch, I run over to, the as described hamburger meat. Is there anything left of this child that even vaguely resembles anything humanoid?
No. Even the bones have been splintered.
Okay. Okay. By this stage, I'm going to. Do I see shrimp or?
Well,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you see
probably,
shrimp.
Yeah.
I'm on full alert,
I am-
and I'm looking around. I'm
Okay.
up. I'm looking around.
What happened is pretty much, very much. It's a very gutting experience. Pardon the pun. And Brienne is sort of at this point. There are like tears running all over the place now. She is utterly distraught here. She could not save this child, and she, not too loudly, This is sort of like not a whisper, just a very soft sort of oath. Whatever you are, I will have my vengeance. You are not of my god, and I will destroy you.
Nothing.
No, I'm not
You do
expecting that.
you do get a feeling of satisfaction, like an external feeling, like something else is feeling satisfaction. You say that.
Okay. I'd sort of like try as best I can to, well, as nicely as possible, scoop up the remains, and I am going to uh, pull together how much of the hamburger meat is left there? More or less, is it like, is it enough to be a whole person, or is there like in sort of
I
a
mean,
quantifiable amount? 1
as,
kilo, 2 kilos, 3
yes,
kilos?
about like 23 kilos.
Okay.
A child's amount of hamburger meat.
Okay. I'm going to gather as
Eat
much
it
wood
and
as I
take their
can.
strength.
I am going to gather as much wood as I can, and I'm going to move just outside of the camp, and I'm going to make a small pyre, and just sort of like try and administer last rites and a prayer to her, and a prayer to my god to uh, to take her and soothe her soul and bring her peace.
As the way I'm just kind of crushing it, like, yo,
No,
not,
I'm
not to
just
prevent you to doing last rites for a hamburger child over there, but we were under attack by something. You think this is the right time to like funeral
whatever it
rites?
is, whatever it is, it's gone.
Uh, I mean, okay, if you
It
say so.
I could sense it and speak to it, and
You
after
got a demon problem there? Because I recommend like Jesus for that.
Who is this Jesus? Tell me
who is
more.
this Jesus? Tell me more.
The famous
Yeah,
demon
Jesus.
hunter.
He was a known demon hunter.
He's a swell guy.
Yeah, he did exorcisms and stuff.
Jesus Karn.
So, what is Cleve doing on his walk?
Contemplating whether or not he should turn Brienne over to the authorities for child murder. Generally just panicking.
Well,
No, Cleve, you shouldn't be running around in the woods on your own. Haven't you seen Predator?
Razgor, you awake to like not even really properly gone to sleep yet when this whole hubbub wakes you, and you see Brienne is in the process of busy building a beer to send off a funeral.
Razgor mad that he's had to sleep without his pillow the past couple days.
Oh, Raz, we got demons and shit.
I sort of look at Raz and say, "Well, you got your wish. The child is gone."
What are you talking about?
Fucking demon came and like turned her, sliced her into hamburger patties.
There was
Keep an eye out.
something came to me while I slept, or while I was standing watch, and it spoke to me, told me the child was a distraction. I told it to get shoved, and then, well, it killed her. And I'm going to find out what it is, and I am going to destroy it.
I see Brienne sit down, and I sit down and kind of tuck my legs up under me.
Yeah, I sort of kneel, sit down on my haunches, sort of facing him.
So I'm gonna cast something, and you're gonna submit to it. And I'm not doing it like a threat. It's like more. Well, it's almost a threat. Like, let me roll persuasion, see if I get through what I'm trying to say. That's an 8. I just say I'm gonna cast something, and you're gonna submit to it. And I cast Zone of Truth. Does
Okay.
I don't know? Can you? Are you able to just purposely fail a
Yep.
I
saving
can.
throw?
Yeah, you can. You can forego your save willingly. So I do. Do I recognize the what he's doing at all? Does it? Is it?
Are you high enough level to cast that spell?
It's second level. Is it second level?
I can
Yeah,
cast.
second
Yeah, I can
level.
cast level 4 spells. So yeah.
You get the idea,
Okay.
approximately.
Okay. I will willingly forego my save to let him satisfy his test. Ask your
You're gonna
questions.
say, what's in you? I have opened many humans, never seen what I saw in you.
I am me, still human. What did you see?
You ain't built right. What's in there with you?
There is nothing in here with me. DM's gonna have to provide some guidance here because if there is something in here with me, I don't know about it.
You
Look,
can only
you just
speak the
can't
truth if you
deliberately
see
lie.
it.
Yeah. Oh wow, nice cop out, Griff.
It's not a cop out. You're the one who made pacts with old ones.
Naff, naff, naff. I am. There is nothing in here with me. There's just me.
Why did you kill the child?
I didn't. I wanted that child. I wanted to save. That was a life that we could save. When we fight, we can't be everywhere, and we have to rely on the on trust in our companions that somebody would be able to do something. But afterwards, we have a responsibility to help those who we can. My God may not be as beautiful or as easy on the eyes as others, but his tenets are still clear to me.
Rasgor blushes.
And we all serve my God, whether we know it or not. I do not I do not hold against those who worship others. We all serve my God in our own way. But to needlessly kill and take an innocent life, that is not my God's way.
Rasgor kind of leans forward, gets real close to Brienne, and says quietly, hoping that Shrimp can't hear. Excuse me.
You can really tell me to fuck off if you want to.
I whisper, "Are you stealing my power?"
I sort of look at Razgor very incredulously. No,
Is your god?
no, no. What has happened?
Rasgor leans back and
Sort of,
sits up straight.
I sort of look at Raz. Raz, why would you think I am stealing your powers? Is it because
Oh shit! I
I-
can't lie either, can I?
Nope.
before Raz says anything else, I explain everything to him that happened. How when we were in the Dwarven City after Fane died, Brienne was very very angry, very very upset, and she made a vow that she would avenge his death and that she would fight for those basically who get killed by the bad guys. Essentially, think Batman kind of thing maneuver. But anyway, and since then, she has found that she can do little things that she couldn't do before. She's able to on a very very limited basis heal people, and she's actually used that on Razgor before as well in the Dwarven City.
Razgor eyes Brienne suspiciously. You've proven to be a fine warrior and an asset to the company.
While we sit here, I cannot lie to you. You are one of my companions and a powerful warrior in your own right. Now, please tell me, why do you think I am stealing your power? What has happened that would lead you to think that?
Sit there for a second, then kind of snap my fingers and disband the spell. Quit, whatever you call it.
Dispel it.
Yeah.
Okay. I sort of look at it and say, very well. If you won't tell me, that is indeed your choice. But I don't know how to help you if you don't tell me.
I've never needed anybody's help. I look at Shrimp. He doesn't believe he caused this.
What?
I don't know what happened. All I know is the kid's dead. You're saying something about demons.
Yo, there was this like tentacle mask thing I saw, and it's like was hovering in front of Brienne. Brienne kind of like snapped at it, or what's that? Fidget, jump, snap. I don't. Whatever term you use for fear. And then like seemed to talk to it for a second, then like it all like pushed her out of the way, and then turned Charles into mincemeat. Like demon shit. Don't know where it came from. Brienne says it's fine and won't come back yet, but I ain't so sure.
I'm gonna use Divine Sense on Brienne.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna use Divine Sense on Brienne.
Mm-hmm. No demons, no fiends, other than the usual little whiff of brimstone that she's capable of conjuring some demons. No celestials, no fae, but a sense of other. Suspiciously familiar and similar to the birthing room you encountered in the other dimension.
Hmm. Well, do I sense anything from the what was child?
Just the same other. Just the faintest little trace, like a whiff of smoke that gets less tangible by the moment.
Ooh, me next.
What do you want to do?
Do I sense anything from? Oh, I thought Letty was saying, "Oh, check me, look at me."
No, yeah, that's kind of what it was. That was what I was intending. Yes.
Oh, okay. Do I see anything in Letty? Or in
Nothing.
Shrimp? Sorry.
Nothing.
Nothing as in completely bog standard normal, or nothing as in nothing.
Completely bog standard, normal factory issue Warforged, still within warranty. Nothing weird.
Well, there's something in you, Brienne. You don't know it, but it's there. And I'm going to start walking a radius around our camp. And every now and again, I'll just cast another Divine Sense, seeing if there's anything on the outskirts watching us or waiting to ambush us or something.
Area appears to be clear of any of the creatures that you can sense. So, Cleve, is there anything you would like to do?
I guess just slowly approach the camp again and make sure Brian hasn't killed everyone.
Everybody appears to be in quiet discourse. Nobody appears to be murdered. Just quiet.
So you're all still sitting around here with Baby Killer, yeah?
No, man, there's like this demon thing, you know? Saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Well, I saw it too. I'm not entirely convinced that Brienne didn't make it.
No,
Brienne
why
didn't
would
make
she
it.
do that and not kill her, just like kill the child earlier? Seems kind of odd to just lug her around for a while and now kill her. That's kind of dumb.
Luckily, Brienne at least doesn't believe she created it. And now y'all have something in common. Y'all have both killed civilians. Or did you forget about the old man by the lake that you murdered?
That was
wasn't
Fane.
me.
No. Cleve did a backflip and landed on his chest and crushed his ribs.
Ah, you mean that part?
He was
Okay.
already
I thought you
dead
meant
at that point. Beef was
I
just
thought you
trying
meant
to see
the-
super CPR.
I don't think that's how CPR works.
So, the evening passes relatively uneventfully further. You guys make your uncomfortable bed for the evening. Morning dawns bright and clear. The sun painting the horrific image of your steam-powered wagon that has got a new coat of paint. Just splatters and streaks, and in places, tiny little gobbets of meat stuck between the boards on the cart itself.
Speaking of which, where was Lord Wilfred throughout this entire episode the night before?
Sleeping in his forge, listening to bugbear techno music. I think the first 2 verses are suka bliat, suka bliat, suka 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 bliat, something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
Swedish House Mafia. Nice.
So the morning dawns bright and clear, and you guys once more take up the journey, Plinsk. Days passed.
Do we need to do anything in Plinsk anymore?
Give me a sec.
Let
Let me just check in my
consult
note.
the map.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then onwards to
And
Plinsk.
there's also a small cross on the way there that I can't remember what that means.
Whatever, we should go there anyway.
We should stop off at this small cross and see what happens.
Yes, remember, I'm certainly not going to tell you.
We'll find out when we get there.
Was that Brienne's lake?
No.
No,
It's
the
a-
lake is to the north between
It's a-
Gardner and Minsk.
The small cross is a old fallen end monastery fort. Well, fort that your previous companion wanted to convert into a monastery.
Okay, we can skip that
Okay,
then.
we don't need to go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
skip it.
You guys stop there for the evening on your way to Plinsky.
That was a neat place. Probably. If there's anything left.
And that night, all
I
of
am-
you get to experience something fantastic.
I am going to pray.
That
So if
is
it's not demon shit.
great. So, those amongst you who don't sleep
Asshole.
Feel a very unusual sensation crawling up your person, leaving you adrift, asleep. Very unusual sensation for you, Shrimp, since you've only experienced this once before that you can recall in the clearing
Oh, this
outside
good.
the forest.
Yes.
You're fast asleep. Brian, you are fast asleep. Cleef,
Son, the largest
you
of logs.
fast asleep.
This music isn't ominous at all.
At all, you find yourselves running headlong through a city, all of you. All around you, hundreds of panicked civilians, screaming, crying. Buildings are aflame. The construction unusual, rounded, smooth, a burnished, coppery color. Behind you, you hear a thunderous detonation, and the hot swell of wind as if an enormous body of air has thus suddenly shifted forwards towards you, bringing the reek of burning flesh and smoke. You hear howls in the distance, metallic screeching sound, as if somebody took the thought of a wolf or a hunting cat and poured it into metal form and gave it voice. All around you, the city burned. People push against you and shove you. A living tide making their way to a destination somewhere ahead of you, hidden from sight by the structures around you. What do you guys do?
Well,
Am I
people are
here?
running away from something.
You are here. Yes, you are there, Shrimp.
Yeah, no. But here, do I mean, am I all here? Like, am I me? Am I my limbs correct? Do I have my spells and stuff?
You look down. You're wearing robes with metal thread embroidered with gold. The rims of the robe now stained in dust, smoke, and what looks suspiciously like blood. Your hands, pink, soft, flesh.
Yeah, flesh.
You glance over and look at Brienne, and you see a woman. Fine-featured, elven, and again, not the Brienne you know, but Brienne nonetheless.
Yo, actually, no. I need to turn this off. Yo, what's up? This shit's whack.
Who are you?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Brienne, you look at Shrimp, and you see a man. Short whiskers, brown hair, dark brown eyes. Eye sockets are bruised, dark purple, as if he's gone many, many, many nights without sleep. And as you say that, the crowd surges around you once more. You almost get pushed off of your
Do I
feet.
recognize him as Shrimp?
You recognize him as Shrimp, but not Shrimp that you know.
Shrimp?
Yeah, sup. I don't know. I don't like this. I have to do this breathing
is-
thing.
What is going on here? What are you doing in my dream?
That's a good question. Also, can
I look around. Are Cleef and Razgor anywhere there?
Cleef and Razgor, what are you guys doing while this is going on?
My first thought was, we're in a city being attacked by mug breakers. I'm about to start. I look down and reach for my axe and see my pink hand.
No. You see
Oh.
your dark brown hand, and you are small. You glance over at the form of Shrimp, and you come up barely to his thigh. You are a halfling.
Sorry.
Hairy feet, hairy hirsute,
Mr. Frodo! Mr.
And-
Frodo!
and you have an apron wrapped around your waist. And a passing civilian nearly knocks you over as they run past you.
So
and you
when I-
hear behind you a scream and a wet tear of meat far behind you. the crowd now starting to dam as there is not enough space to get through the alleyways and streets to the destination everybody is surging towards.
So I look up and I see Brienne, and for some reason if you look at her, I recognize her as Brienne.
But the face is elven, yes.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You were stealing my power!
I look down, it's like, Razgor?
And
What the?
Rascar?
And I
What
just,
is going on here? Cleve,
I'm
where are you?
I'm 5-year-old child, windmill spinning my arms, running towards Brienne, trying to hit her.
I
Cleve.
stick my hand out on his head, you know, typical of the older sibling.
Razgor, you are held at bay by the long arms and height of this lanky
Of the
elven
law.
woman.
I try to let out one of my super bestial roars, and it's just.
Behind you, a structure detonates. And the
Razgor,
crowd is flung from their feet momentarily before getting up and surging forward again. Chunks of masonry plowing into the civilians among you, leaving you unscathed.
Raz, we don't have time for this. Whatever's happening here, we need to either stop it or try and do something here, or just figure out what the hell is going on. Why do you? What do I sort of like? Look at? Is there like any kind of reflective surface or anything here?
You glance around and see a shop window, finely wrought, filigreed, and far more intricate and beautiful than anything you've seen in your waking moment. And reflected in it, you see the elven woman's face looking back at you.
What?
And Cleef looting it.
Rick?
Cleef
where's
is
Cleef?
there. You glance around, you see Cleef. A young woman, red hair, plump, little button nose. And you know that is Cleef.
Oh, button nose.
Can Cleef attempt to like reach into his mind and see if this is someone he's one of his past lives?
Actually, yes. How does that ability of yours work exactly? Do you roll for it?
I don't know.
Tell you what.
Well, how does
make
it work normally?
You roll a d20 usually, right? And then add your proficiency, or how does it work?
Well, normally it's just every day I wake up and gain one skill or tool proficiency of my choice based on one of my previous.
Tell you what.
past
Roll a
lives.
d20 for me and add your proficiency.
20.
Oh shit. Cleave. It's as if a lock turns in your mind, opening a door that's always been there and has remained shut until this moment. And you look back through the thousands of generations that have brought you to where you are as Cleave today. And you know that they are all descendant from this woman that you are currently, that you currently are.
Well, that's worrying.
There's another detonation, this time closer, and the ground shakes.
Please.
And now the crowd around you is starting to peter out as more and more people are hauling ass through the city, a single tide of humanity making for some as yet unseen destination ahead of you. Leaving the four of you standing almost alone. The last stragglers run past you.
Do I know anything else apart from this is Clephas Prime?
Clephas Prime was going somewhere in the city.
Are we all wearing sort of the same clothes?
You're all wearing what passes for civilian garb. Your halfling companion is wearing a small set of tinker tools, hammers, tongs, jeweler's tools, that kind of thing. Fine work. Your elven self is wearing what looks to be a ball gown. You were out on the town when this event occurred. The form of Shrimp has got a complicated arrangement of lenses and gears on top of his head on almost like a helmet swivel device. And in front of, on the side, either side of him, he's got a leather apron tool sticking out of it. And the plump woman is wearing what can only be a uniform of some kind, maybe a city official.
Okay, so very important question. Do I feel like any of my power is still there, like my magic?
You reach for it, there's nothing.
Oh, that's not good. I can't cast spells. We should probably move whatever the hell we are.
Okay, where do we go?
Follow the group, I guess. What do I have? Like, I'll look around my stuff, the aprons and stuff, the tools. Like, what do I have?
Tiny pieces of wire, little almost scalpel-like devices, small pliers, stuff like that. Some kind of fine toolery. You're not sure. Out of game, a lot of it looks like soldering tools and circuitry and circuit boards and such, and electronic equipment, microchips and things like that.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I don't understand any of it, so I take this tiny scalpel-looking things and just the reverse grip wielded like a knife, just like, yeah, this is the best I got. Let's do this.
So, are you guys following this flow of humanity?
I think we should keep moving. I don't think whatever is out there is good, and I can't cast any of my spells.
I sort of try and reach down, try and see is any of my magic.
Nope.
Oh boy, I can't either. Okay, this is not good.
Behind you,
I'm-
a third structure detonates. And now you see looming shadows come bounding through the smoky light towards you on all forms. The forms still momentarily obscured.
Okay, let's get moving. Let's run now.
We gotta find weapons.
We've run.
We run.
I want all of you to make athletics checks for me, please.
I'm like trying to put Brandon in an armbar, so when she runs, she just kind of like carries me.
Natural 1.
Nice.
Athletics. That's a 15 if I use my own statistic.
No modifiers. Straight athletics rolls. So
Okay, straight athletics, no modifior.
21.
So
I
just
rolled
a-
21 on the d20 with no bit of modifiers.
Oh,
So there's a 20
no,
roll.
we don't have our athletics.
You're
just
not
a straight up
Brienne.
roll.
You're not
Oh,
Brienne's body right now.
Okay, well, roll is 19.
Nice.
I as well rolled a 19 on the dice.
Okay,
Okay.
so between the two
Between
of
the
us,
two of you,
I'm
you managed
using
to
his momentum to swing me further.
and you're managing to grab a hold of the button-nosed girl and pull her in closer and manage to shove a way through the crowd and push people aside. And now this crowd is starting to get frantic. People are shoving, falling, screaming. Families are getting pulled apart. And then behind you, you hear a sudden metallic howl cut through the crowd. And you hear somebody shriek and a dull impact audible over the noise of the surging crowd and the wet tearing sound. Hippo, you look backwards, you being the furthest back with the lowest athletic roll, and you see a creature. It looks like a Terran wolf, like a normal wolf, except it is cast in shifting mercury-like steel. And before your very eyes, you see the maw split into thousands of circular saw blades, and it carve apart the prey, before immediately reforming its face, howling to the sky, and then leaping forward to go for the next person to try and pull them down.
Does any of that seem vaguely familiar?
It does not. However, I would like you all to make another athletics check for me as you go running into the crowd. It seems these things are gaining on you now.
I say.
19.
Oof. 3.
14.
13.
Not enough. You see them start closing the gap, and another unfortunate get pulled down and torn asunder as you see a second one of these metallic creatures approach.
While we're running back, I sort of like look down at Razgor, stuck on my arms. We need to find some kind of weapon. I don't think we're going to be able to outrun these things.
You look to
Is
the
there,
left.
looking
you look
around,
to the right.
anything like clubs, stone, lengths of wood, anything we can use as an improvised like club or weapon of some kind?
Nothing, but you do see an alleyway, darkened, and perhaps a way to evade detection or bypass the crowd to the left of you.
Down the alleyway we go. I
Alleyway-
sort of I've got Razgor attached to me, so I'm just bolting down the alleyway with him. I say, "Come on, let's go, 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 go."
Maybe there's a sewer in here.
Okay, so you guys follow Brienne as you get yanked into the side alley, and for a moment, you're given the respite from the pressing crowd around you, surging all around. Make stealth rolls for me, please.
I look at Brian and say, "This isn't over." And you said I had a working hammer on my belt.
Yeah, like a small little, like a tiny little hammer, like you'd work on like a clockwork watch with, or something like that. Just a teeny tiny little hammer for fine work, fine detail.
I pull the hammer out like it's a maul, and climb up on her shoulders, ready to jump off and smack something if it comes in contact with this.
Okay,
I rolled
that works.
a 17.
Nat 20.
Roll
12.
4.
Okay.
I just
so
do the stereotypical crouching to stealth thing and just like fell out of my pockets.
You guys just like hold and you all like look at the form of Shrimp as he makes a clattering noise. However, over the sound of the crowd surging and the screams of dying and the panicked people, you see the metallic quicksilver forms surge past the alleyway that you are hidden, and they don't notice you.
Oh, quick question. Do I, as Shrimp, oh, not the character who I'm like inhabiting at the moment, does Shrimp recognize these things at all?
Make a roll a d20 for me. Let's see if you can recall, because this is from before Shrimp lost his memory.
Yeah, I only rolled a 5.
A nagging feeling like you should know what these are, but you don't.
Before
know.
we see Shrimp at some point.
Funny you should say that.
Oh shit.
After the wolves have passed, you wait a few moments to make sure that there are no more following this pack. You hear shouts, scream, terrible wails of agony as the rear end of the surging crowd that is going towards whatever destination in the city there is has its stragglers savaged, killed, eaten, left for dead. Shrimp, you sit in the alleyway, catching your breath for a moment, when you all hear the solid tread of booted feet come walking steadily but not hurriedly down the road that you had been following.
As in the same direction as the people, or in the opposite direction?
Same direction as the people fled. You see a man, or at least he looks like a man. Skin obsidian. Eyes interlocking, rotating, bright copper gear. His hands dripping flames that sizzle and sputter as they hit solid stone of the road. Completely naked. No genitals. Just a smooth obsidian body with gear-like eyes. As he goes walking steadily, following the crowd. And you get the idea that they are not fleeing the wolves. This is who they are fleeing from. So, what do you guys do? You're still a ways away from wherever the crowd is going to.
What was that thing?
I don't know, but let's avoid it. Is there Is there anything that like would resemble like sewers or another passage?
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. 8.
Glance over, you do spot a sewer grate. Rusted from disuse, but indeed an entranceway in the sewer.
Okay. Who wants sewer adventure and who wants to try some other route?
Is this alley? Is it a dead end? Is it blind?
It is not a dead end. It curves and makes an L shape and continues on beyond the structure that you're currently behind.
Okay. Follow the alley or go down the sewer, people.
I just say sewer.
Sewer would probably be safer.
Okay, let's see if we can get this great. How quickly we can get this grate open.
Alright, so
We'll
help me with
jump
it.
down
Let's
with
have
his
you-
mighty muscles and try to lift this sewer grate.
It doesn't budge.
I try and help Razgor.
Both of you
Still-
make strength checks, me, please, to see how quietly you can lift this metal grate out without alerting creatures in the surrounding city.
Strength check, eh?
Strength check.
14.
Okay, you just want the straight dice roll, or
Yep. You're playing with
Okay,
other people's
th-
stats. Though. I have their stats.
okay, 13.
14. Because I have a
Surprisingly,
plus 9 on
robust.
my halfling.
little offling helps you quietly lift the grate out with only the smallest scrape, leaving
Good.
the pitch dark shaft beneath you.
I sort of motion to everybody.
Oh
"Come,
my.
let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Halflings,
Yeah,
no dark vision. Elves, low light vision. Humans, nothing.
Hey, do I, in my equipment with the head swivelly thing, do I happen to have a light with me?
You do not, sir. It's more for looking at tiny things, not for lighting them up, really.
It's fine, I was just, you know,
No, it's fine.
to ask, do I have a flashlight on me?
You climb down into the sewer below. The stench rank, and the slop coming up to your ankles and more up to your knees in the case of Razgor. It is dark, and above you, you can hear the screaming, but now oddly attenuated by the shaft that you have climbed down.
Okay, Shrimp, where do we head from here? This was your idea. Where do we go?
Whatever direction that the people were going, so...
Cleef, you're the only one with dark vision amongst them that can actually see down there.
Am I?
I bet.
Yeah, you're an elf. Oh, no, sorry, you're not an elf. Who's the elf? Brienne's the elf. Sorry,
Brienne.
Brienne, you're the only one that can see. Sorry, my apologies.
I'll make sure to close the sewer grate as we
Yep.
get in.
You drag it. Gonk, leaving you completely in darkness.
Okay, I sort of grab everybody and say, all right, everybody just hold on to everybody else so we don't get lost.
Okay.
And Shrimp, which way do you want us to go?
Is there, like, does the sewer, like, follow a line? Like, if this one's the main road, does it follow like this, or does it go some other direction?
It follows a line and intersects every few meters with the side passageway that crosses it.
Okay, then we'll go the direction that the other people went. So,
Basically, like that.
I climb back up on Brienne's shoulders with my hammer out. A, so I
Yeah.
can be higher, use almost to my regular height, and B, if I need to, I can smack Brienne in the head with the hammer.
Okay,
so
you guys start
So
making your
straight.
way.
Yeah, sort of making sure to
Straight.
keep.
All
Yeah.
right. So, Brienne's leading you guys through the muck,
Yeah.
through the dirt.
Now
now mostly quiet.
Yeah, as we move forward, I'm describing what I see, and I'm sort of hopeful that there's something here that will jog a memory or just help.
You make your way quietly through the sewers. And after a few moments, you realize something. There's something else down here with you. You hear the splashing of fetid water coming from somewhere around you. The echo is oddly displaced by this underground environment that you are in. Would like you all to make stealth checks for me.
$15.
19.
5.
17.
Okay, that's enough across the board. Clef, you are not your usual stealthy self, and you do not care for this young body that you've been given.
These
This is bull.
goddamn high heels.
I'm telling you.
That's your overbalancing.
However, your companions manage to quiet you at the very last moment as you hear a splashing followed by a clicking sound of metal on stone off somewhere to your right in one of the passages. As you all sit quietly and hope that it doesn't come this way, you hear a snuffling sound followed by a splash and steps getting further away from you. Appears not to have detected you. And you resume your journey.
Okay, while we're walking down along there, I'm resuming my search for anything that I could pick up and use as a weapon.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
You find a piece of wood, waterlogged and about as long as your forearm, floating in the mud.
Okay, that's not going to be able to do much good for me, but if it's as long as my forearm, then Razgor could probably put it to better use. It'd be the size of a short sword for him, then, give or take.
Give or take.
Okay,
That's
sort of hand, like, right.
You have a poo plank now.
I'm dual wielding hammer and poop plank.
Okay.
Poison damage.
At length. When are you guys going to try and surface from these sewers?
Well, shrimp.
That's a good question. I don't know. I was just kind of like, I didn't. Did anyone take a note like how big this place was? Whatever town, city thing we're in.
Do I have like a vague knowledge of
Yes.
the town?
You all, when you think about it, the knowledge comes easily to you. It's a fair-sized city, and now thinking about it, you know where you're going, Cleve.
I point us in
You're
that
heading-
direction.
You're heading for the gate. The enormous portal, powered and used to transfer goods across the stars.
I just turn to the party. The gate. We're going to the gate. That's the way
Oh
out.
yeah, of course.
Okay. Sort of based on where we are, how far away from the gate are we? Assuming that this sewer pipe follows the road we were going on, more or less.
Several minutes travel. Normally, the crowds would have impeded you, but down here, you can make good speed. You're probably fairly close to it.
Okay, then we should probably get out. Find that gate.
Okay, let's try and find an exit quietly.
Okay. Climb the closest ladder, the top. Once
Do we
more,
hear
strength check,
crowds?
please. Dimly, over the sound of the piece of metal above you.
a stealth check?
Strength check.
7.
16.
Razgor picks up the slack, even in his small form. He manages to lift the grid and slide it quietly, with only the minimum of noise.
Razgor's mad now too, because he's worked his entire life to not muddle his brain up with useless knowledge. Now he has all his knowledge and all of this person's knowledge. That's 3 times the knowledge he normally has.
That's too much knowledge for Rascal's brain.
Too much knowledge.
Does he have an aneurysm?
Almost. You look out into the city beyond, and you're once more in an alleyway. This one far shorter, and with only one exit onto the street beyond. You see crowds running up an enormous ramp, 100 feet across, into a swirling purple-pink portal of light. In front of it, a pedestal. And on this pedestal, an enormous, round stone, glowing with power. vibrantly. But this is not what draws your attention. As you glance at the portal, you look up at the sky. And above you, you see, both you, Razgor and Brienne, an enormous humanoid man plummeting towards the surface of this world that you are standing on. His form so vast that it beggars belief. His eyes, the size of continents. His mouth, the size of continents. An expression of agony racking this face.
Oh
The
shit.
death throes of a god.
Do I sort of
What god is
recognize
that?
this? Okay, is there any way I can like recognize this as having anything to do with the history that we learned about while we were in the archives?
It's a pretty good chance that this is the murdered gods. Or the murdered god, the victim of his brothers and sisters.
I think this is. I sort of tell the party. I think this is. Remember in the archives where we learnt about the god Primus?
Yeah.
I think this is where he dies.
Oh. That's awkward.
Yeah, which means there's a good chance that that great black obsidian guy with the flaming fiery fists is Orcus.
Oh, the one we saw was,
God,
I don't think it would be that.
So, gentlemen, you are sitting on the ladder looking at.
yeah, I get out into the alley. I
you
pull
guys-
everybody else, help everybody else out, and look around the alley again. I'm like trying to see is there anything I can use to arm myself here.
You see a dumpster.
Time to go
Mid-knee.
dumpster.
You go dumpster diving and find various empty containers, rotten food, some bags with unsavory goods inside. But nothing that could be wielded as a weapon.
Hey, fists it is then. I'll have to trust to my natural elfy dexterity then.
We
So,
can
okay.
see the portal from here.
You can see the portal from where you are currently.
And
Are there
something
any...
in this new body is telling us that sends us to safety.
Safety. To home. To away.
Okay, well, we should go. Are there any threats we should be worried about?
Glance around, and the street looks clearish for the moment.
Okay. That's probably
go.
not going to stay like that for long, so we should move right now.
Let's go. Let's
You
move.
haul ass across the way into the surging crowd going through the portal. You step up to the portal entrance. And the last thing you see as you step through the gate is the obsidian figure striding into the crowd. Not even swinging his arms at them, not batting them aside. He is a fundamental force fixed in the universe. And wherever he's touched, people simply burst apart as if slammed with an enormous force. And the last thing you see is him reaching for the purple orb, and a grey-robed man stepping in between, taking a blue orb from within his own robes, touching it, and the world going white. And then you guys wake up.
Oh. Oh my.
Well, that was an experience.
Hey, what the hell was that?
That was definitely an experience.
I sort of like just check, am I me again? And sort of like just
Aches and pains and all.
I look at it as everybody and does it look like everybody's back to themselves?
You see Cleef, you see Shrimp, See Razgor.
And they are the shrimp, thief, and Razgor that I've been traveling with for the last few months.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Well, that was the thing. And just out of pure paranoia, I just check my Warforged body and make sure that there's no, like, obsidian on it.
Where are you checking, lady?
Oh, everywhere. Like, just everywhere.
You see Shrimp suddenly start going through maintenance routines, snapping open cases, portals, just basically opening himself up, checking everywhere to make sure that he is still Shrimp. Shrimp, your internal skeleton is built out of obsidian.
Oh my.
Oh. Well,
Always has been.
Oh.
yes. Yes? I asked
Yes.
myself.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it has always been like that.
Cleef
Razgor's
is
just-
alarmed at the fact that those people were real.
I sort of just checking to make sure I don't have pointy ears.
Nope. No pointy ears on your
Okay.
side.
Okay. How did we all manage to have the same dream?
Good question.
Razgor is like clenching his fist and like testing all his muscles, see the strength is still there, and staring at Brienne, the witch.
Well, all I can say is your companion Cleef can verify if it was a dream for you.
So Cleef knows that those people were real, but that memory of that event wasn't there before.
Not that you remember, no. This is the first time you're experiencing it.
So that might not have been a dream.
What was it then? A memory?
Possibly?
Definitely.
I don't remember
We
ever
were.
being a
None of us
halfling.
were. I mean, I was an elf for goodness sake, and Shrimp was human, and you were human and a woman, and Razgor wasn't Razgor. He was a halfling.
Don't say it.
Midget.
Really?
So I don't know about you guys, but I was my own ancestor.
Well,
Kind of disturbing. Kind of gave me some paradoxical mortality thoughts going on there.
wait. If those were our
I-
ancestors, Razgor, what did your family do over the years?
I can guarantee there's no halfling in my ancestry.
Backdoor's ultimate lubrication.
I don't think that's ancestry, because I don't think you can become me. I don't have biological parents.
But what if somebody transferred a soul into you? Could that be possible?
I don't think so. I mean, I have no idea how this happened, but
Well, whatever it was, we were all there, and did you also see uh, I'm get- that thing that fell?
yeah, that thing that looked mighty like Primus, the one we heard from that story.
Yeah. And the obsidian guy and the wolves? What the hell was all that about?
I don't know.
Where were we? What was that place?
All I know
But did
is it wasn't here.
Would
no?
would shrimp know?
Would Cleef know?
Would Asgore know?
Cleef is probably the only one who may know. Depends on how much Cleef remembers, is the question.
Cleef, you better hit a natural 20 on that memory.
Take the keen mind feat now.
Okay.
We're gonna take 20. Cleef is gonna spend the next hour just sitting there racking his brains to remember. He's gonna take a 20.
Can I make a
Cleef-
saving throw to remember? Specifically, a saving throw.
No,
Damn it.
but we can say if you want to. Do you want to sit a while and try
I
and
want
think?
to. I want to go into full Medicleaf mode.
Metacleef.
No, Medicleaf, like meditate. I was gonna say Cleefacate, but that
Oh.
sounds bad. That's something he does. He does in private.
What is
Yeah.
Cleef trying to Cleefacate about? What are you trying to recall specifically?
Where we were, and if that actually happened.
Yes, it did happen. And let's see, where were you? Actually, you would know. You remember the name of that world. Oh no.
Too much information for that.
That was the world of Shardos.
So not Earthbet.
Ew. So,
Is there any other bits and pieces I can pick up?
try and think of something and I'll see if you remember it.
God, oh lordy.
Hey, you're the one who wanted to play a Returned.
What about those portals? That portal, where did it lead? What can you remember about that portal, Cleef?
Well, I know that's where all of the trade went to the other places amongst the stars. Jeez.
You mean other worlds?
Presumably.
Places like here?
Can I remember where Cleophas Prime escaped to?
When would probably be a better
Oh,
question. No, you cannot recall where.
Am I back?
Hello.
Yeah.
You're back. No, you cannot recall where. You just know those gates created a linked network that connected thousands of worlds together.
Like a web of ways to other worlds.
Get out.
Well, given that the great big obsidian man was like really, really big and made of pure obsidian and had fiery hands, you know, I was almost expecting some salamanders to show up there. Some fire lizards. Fire drakes, you might even call them.
So, Mental Gens.
Did you? I sort of looked at everybody. Do you? Any of you also remember seeing a man in a grey robe take out some kind of orb and touch that purple one on the pedestal?
Uh,
Can Cleve remember what the orb was used for? Presumably some kind of thing keeping the gate open.
Power source slash control module, if you want to call it that. A way to dial into a specific location.
and these were much bigger than the ones we see today, right?
Oh yeah.
But including the one the guy pulled out to destroy everything.
Still somewhat larger than the ones you've encountered so far.
Did they appear to be related?
Perhaps.
I don't. If you're talking about the bowl things, I don't think so, because I think, if I recall, let me actually double check my notes. Well, all the rocks we found were part of a larger whole, which I at some point understood or misunderstood to mean to be pieces of Primus.
You are correct, yes.
So they can't be they can't all be 100% the same rocks because Primus was still a thing that was dying at the moment when we saw that thing happen.
Correct. Which would imply
So how did Gregory Zukov kill a god? He would have had to travel there, wouldn't he? You remember how the archive said that him and his dwarven companion, where they went somewhere to the north?
That seems like a leap.
But wasn't Zukov and him like millennia after this event?
correct.
I don't.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if they went to go and kill a god, what are the chances that, remember that nobody knows where he died? Maybe he found that portal and found a way through?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they have blood gates or whatever the hell we're looking
Well,
for.
remember
Maybe.
that companion of his, the last thing he did when he left was he left that stone hammerhead and said he had to hide the body of the god that they had killed.
Correct.
What a better place to hide a body than to take it to another world?
Or where we are now is the place that they hid it in.
Also true.
But there's a thing on a map that's marked bloody gates. Maybe that's related to this gate system.
Could be maybe the
I mean, how
Feywild.
many goddamn gates can there be?
Or maybe the Feywild is somehow part of that way of webs.
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
Well,
I guess we'll figure it out once we get there.
yep.
Anything from Razgor's side?
Raskor kind
Utter
of
confusion.
feels like this is all pointless. This happened somewhere else, some other time. We have an immediate problem with Mugbreaker taking my fucking army. Shit I didn't tell him to. So he's very single-minded on.
Oh, that's
problem
perfectly
A.
fine.
I'm going for solution A.
Oh, but that's a good point. I mean, we could still discuss these things, even if we're not going to do anything about them immediately. We're still going to go punch Muckbreaker in the face, or you're going to go and we'll be looking. What do you do with it?
I think Razor kind of understands that Squig also comes from elsewhere, not from somewhere here. So he's just gonna sit down and try to cast Find Steed again. How you're describing how I navigate that and look for Squig. I'm gonna look for Squig, but then I'm gonna like keep going and see if I see anything else.
Sure.
Kind of go off the path.
Make
to Squig
a.
to-
Roll a d20 and then add your proficiency plus charisma modifier.
Oh no. That is 9 plus 4, 13 plus 4, 17.
What are you looking for exactly?
Kind of if anything else exists where I'm getting Squig from. Are there any other entities that are
Squig
recognizable or not, either of Squig's
You sense-
essence or of the essence that I'm getting from Brienne and her creepiness?
You sense several squig-like entities. And every time you reach out with that tendril of thought to try and connect with them, it's as if somebody puts a glass box over you. You can see them, and they're separated from you by the smallest of spaces, but you can't get in touch with them.
I think I'm just gonna do that every day and kind of prod different directions or different areas, trying to find a weakness in this barrier.
Anything from the Cleef Patrol?
But it's the same essences as Cleave. I mean as Squig. I summon Cleave.
As
Please
Cleave.
don't summon Cleave.
I can just see Razgor riding a Cleefus Secundus into battle.
Backflipping into battle.
Hey, come on, just think about a great big huge orc on the shoulders of a little old man. How awesome would that be?
No.
So, unless anybody has any more questions, we will be ending here for today.
Nope, no more question.
Or anything else that you want to do.
I am going to pray.
In real life or as Brienne?
As Brienne. No, as Brienne. Especially given the events of a couple of nights beforehand, I am in need of reassurance.
Sure. Brienne, you go to pray while you wait for morning to come. And all you feel is the cold, oily presence of the shadowy tentacles that had killed the child.
So I don't feel the usual warm, fuzzy feeling I get when I think of Cthulhu.
No compassion, no love. Only a distant, somewhat interested regard.
Which up until this point is very unlike Cthulhu. He's always been so nice to me. No, he has. He's listened. He's spoken. This does not feel like him.
So, anything that Keith or Shrimp are doing before the morning?
Well, I'm just kind of like absentmindedly like staring at my obsidian parts. Like, what does it mean? Shrimp has never really questioned his own existence, except now he's just like, what the hell was that obsidian thing? And there's like, mostly it's just like, what the hell was that? Like, am I some kind of like just killing machine? And one tiny little part in the back of his, what constitutes his brain is like, yes, I want to be like that. Give me more power.
Well then. So, that's where we'll end for this week. I hope you all had a fun session.
Yeah, I did.
It was a nice.
For a given value of fun, getting cut in half was kind of touch and go there for a
To
second.
be fair, you brought that on yourself.
I know, but I was expecting to at least still be in one piece. You know, one
That's where
piece
you
or
went
several
wrong.
million little pieces, not two roughly
Sure.
equal pieces.
You're lucky, because if I had rolled 3 points of damage higher, it would have been over the massive damage roll for you, and you would have just been vapor.
Nah, well.
You would have literally been pink mist at that point.
Well, to put it this way, yeah, in character, it's like the only thing like that, or in a situation like that, yeah, it was that or have to fight off waves of Modrons, and this time I think there would have been a hell of a lot more coming through.
Well, seeing what Liddy did to that first group, good lord.
I mean,
There's a lot of doom.
that was a lot of boom. It's fun. Like, it's actually funny that Synaptic Static, the damage on it isn't actually that high for a 5th level spell. Like, it's kind of its major thing is that like it is lots of boom, but it's largely the roll thing. Because Fireball has the same damage as that thing.
Well, all I'm going to say is those poor guys got absolutely wrecked.
They did.
They were like, hey! And then Liddy was like, brain magic.
Is there
Well
anything
then.
brain magic can't fix?
Well...
People getting cut in half?
Brain them back together.
I couldn't bring them back together.
Here, I made you a new body.
Well, he almost had reverse bending knees, which might have made him run faster. But you fix that with your brain.
I guess so. So, Random, you say you're not here next week, eh?
Probably not.
It's fine if you're not, then I could just lead the party around by the nose for a couple of sessions until you're back and we can pick up the Razgor story again.
I come back and Mugbreakers kill everybody.
That's very possible at this point.
That's not exactly a comforting thought.
I mean, I was just saying. You guys leveled to 9 at session 12, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, I've
Yeah.
not been keeping track of sessions.
So the Daves got their names last week, which is 13. This week is 4. No, actually, I lied.
Last week was
This
14,
is
this is
15.
15.
Yeah, this is 15. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it's 3 sessions. Yeah, I think you guys are going to go up to 10 this week.
Ooh. How many sessions ago did I get Azure?
Let me
Is that
scroll
in the
back.
dwarf place?
First time you got it, or first time you tuned to it?
When I spent on my dice.
Was that from the dwarf place?
Yeah.
10,
That was-
session 10.
Was it? Oh yeah, 10, yeah. I'm just looking at thumbnails.
Yeah, so the Ring of Artifacts, cloaks and axes and shields and such that you scavenged it from.
So what, we're level 10 now?
Yep.
Oh.
Hey,
Oh.
my character. Hey, my character. Let me kill my character.
So I would have had to miss one session. 46.
What's that?
I think I'm up to 4d6.
Very
Save
nice.
dice.
Very nice. That sounds right to me.
Ooh, mental discipline. I gain a 10th level psionic feature.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Your mind's bar expands to greater heights. When you gain this feature, choose one of the following spells: Dominate Person, Scrying, or Telekinesis. You can add the spell to your spell book and cast it without components.
Neat.
You can also cast a chosen spell once without expending a spell slot. After you do so, you regain the ability to cast a spell without a slot when you finish a long rest. I'm gonna go with Scrying.
Oh, shit. What's up?
Empower Psionics, a 10th level psionic feature. When you deal psychic or force damage with a wizard spell, you can add your intelligence modifier to the damage against one of the spell's targets.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it's not immensely swag, but still.
It's still pretty neat.
Yeah.
It makes your cantrips significantly more powerful.
Oh, shit, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about cantrips. Yeah, you're right. That does make them a lot
Basic.
more powerful.
It's almost like adding your charisma modifier for Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Or the cleric's thing where you get to add your wisdom bonus to the cleric's cantrips on some of the cleric subclasses. That's pretty cool. And then this week I'm gonna have to make 1,000,000 character sheets.
A million
Why?
character sheets.
For some stuff I have planned for you guys.
Indeed. Yeah. I don't like the sound of that.
For now on, when we
Neither do I.
die, Griff issues us our new characters.
Welcome to the jungle.
Now I need to decide, do I level up as a warlock or as a paladin?
Quit stealing my power.
Look, man, all I'm gonna say is you chose this.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm just trying to think, based on everything that's happened, which one makes the most sense to level up here now.
I don't know. Only you can tell.
Well, from a fluff perspective, what makes more sense, leveling up as a warlock or as a paladin?
I really can't say.
Bard.
I'm just here to arbitrate the dice.
And kill us when we least expect it.
I give you plenty of warning when you do silly things.
Yes, plenty of warning being, oh, the dinosaur is going to eat you now.
Hey, man. The fact that you guys can fly and use mental whammies and do all sorts of crazy stuff should have made that fight pretty easy, since dinosaurs can't fly or critically reason.
That would imply that we're smarter than them.
So to use smite, I have to make a melee weapon attack.
Correct.
So would you call that damage dice for a melee weapon attack?
Would I do what with the damage dice?
Smite really is just extra damage dice for a melee weapon attack, right?
Not exactly, no. Spells slots getting converted into additional damage dice. Why?
So with Great Weapon Fighter, I would reroll the smite 1s and 2s also, right?
I don't believe so, no. I don't believe so. Let's have a look. There's actually a thing on the fact for the paladin. What does Mike Merle say? Sage advice. If you use Great Weapon Fighting with a feature like Divine Smite or a spell like Hex, you get to reroll any one or two of your extra damage. Great Weapon Fighting feature, which is shared by fighters and paladins, is meant to benefit only the damage roll of the weapon used with the feature. For example, if you use a Great Sword with the feature, you can roll 1 or 2 and then roll the 2d6. If you're a paladin, use Divine Smite with the Great Sword Weapon Fighting doesn't let you reroll the 1 or 2 the damage. Okay. Sorry. No reroll in smite damage. So, I hope you all thoroughly enjoyed getting some more background on the world that you are currently inhabiting.
Yeah, that was actually really, really cool.
I hope Razgor is ready to learn about his ancestry.
Halfling.
Hey man, Stoutheart halflings are badass. Hopefully you will never have to learn about Grogna Pig Sticker.
Grog, pig sticker.
Where do you think the orcs came from?
So
There's a-
Backdoor's ultimate
there's a-
lubrication
there's
a-
was
there's a-
involved.
There's a reason people call orcs swine.
Sorry, Raz.
Cleef is now lucky.
Oh no. Damn you, Hippo, and your lucky die. Oh, that feat. Makes me sad.
I can't think why.